No problem.
Finally, we have Ernie Gotta.
All right, comrades, thank you very much. It's been great hearing your presentations. I'm just going to jump right in. We've already covered a lot, and I want to briefly highlight the ongoing struggle, because we talked a lot about Chile and Colombia and other areas. I want to briefly highlight the ongoing struggle in Haiti and the fight against colonial rule in Puerto Rico and their relationship to building a revolutionary movement here in the US. So in Haiti, mass mobilization centered on the Petro-Carib Fund that was set up by the Venezuelan government during Chavez's presidency. And it was supposed to be an aid program to develop sanitation, roads, housing, and so on. But instead, the Haitian government auditors determined that the money had disappeared into the pockets of government officials, including President Jovenel Moïse. In 2019 was really a bloody year of government repression, saw the kind of return of a stronger military in Haiti after the recent departure of the UN occupying forces in 2017. And we saw this repression as the masses of poor and working people mobilized, demanding that the Petro-Carib funds and Jovenel be returned and Jovenel step down. The textile workers in particular have led some strong fights since 2017. Taxi drivers, lawyers demanding unions, students, and so on, brought the country to a standstill back in October. But with no formal parliament in place because of the failed elections in October, Jovenel is sliding now into a one-man rule to rule by decree like his predecessor Martelli. And with no resolution in sight, these mobilizations are likely to resume. Now, except in Puerto Rico, which of course is a direct colony of the US, we've seen an incredible movement despite a seemingly endless chain of climate disasters and natural disasters. And the level of austerity being inflicted on Puerto Rico through the Fiscal Control Board is incredible. The wage cuts, schools closed, services denied, aid for hurricane relief withheld. They're all directly controlled by a board that answers only to Washington and Wall Street. In 2019, the Ricky Renuncia movement served as an opening shot for, I think, what is now the current wave of uprisings in Latin America. The Puerto Rican people removed a corrupt politician through continued mobilizations that was led largely by women and LGBTQIA+ activists, which is a stark difference than relying on a convoluted impeachment process that they're doing here in the United States. For our comrades in socialist resurgence, we see a tremendous amount of potential in all the movements in Latin America as they relate to our struggle to build a mass movement and a revolutionary party in the US. For me as a hotel worker in an industry which is deeply rooted in the exploitation of immigrant labor, the developing struggles in my co-workers' home countries are very important and have a real impact on our struggles to build union power in the hotels, to fight against attacks on immigrant workers who are relying on temporary protective status or TPS, and to organize more immigrant workers into the union so that we can deepen all of these fights. A modest and continuing strike wave over the past 2 years in the US has seen hundreds of thousands of workers, many who are immigrants and a majority who are women, waging big fights for their own economic interests. With nearly 1 million Haitians and nearly 6 million Puerto Ricans living in the US, not to mention all of the Colombians, Bolivians, Chileanos, Ecuadorians, and so on, the uprisings in Latin America. Sorry, Dan?
1 minute.
Thank you. The uprisings in Latin America have the potential to inspire and turn those economic fights into a broader political fight that challenges US imperialism. And we need to build a broad working class anti-war, anti-imperialist movement that has a deep, and it will intrinsically have a deep understanding of the US interventions and coups, because of this direct connection to Latin America. And we, ultimately want to mobilize millions in the US to oppose these interventions, and at the same time build solidarity with the working class struggles fighting both their own local capitalists and the imperialist and financial institutions that try to drain the resources and exploit the local economy, as comrades were talking about earlier. The examples everyone's looking to are the incredible mobilizations in Haiti, Puerto Rico, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, all through the hemisphere, and now even in the Middle East and other areas. The combined experience of the rising struggle in this country. Oh, all right. I just have one sentence. Could I just
finish it up?
All right. The combined experience of the rising class struggle in this country with the lessons that come with solidarity campaigns for the international class struggle and each concrete incidents are leading to a general consciousness among our class that socialism is the only solution and that revolution is the only way forward for ourselves and for our planet.
Thank you, Ernie. Okay, everybody. So we